Happy St. Patrick's Day 2018, everyone. This is Jeffrey Brown with your latest and greatest weather analysis of the upcoming system that is going to affect south central and northern southern California over the next week. The local or the short range models, the NAM, WRF, are still indicating the atmospheric river event to move to the north, whereas the global forecasting system models, the GEM and the European models, are forecasting it to be pretty much on track over south central and northern portions of south central California and northern portions of southern California. So, and I'm going to show you basically what the global forecasting system model is forecasting over the next week. These are the palettes along with streamline analysis associated with the occlusion that will be off the coast for 3-hour rainfall totals. If we take a look at this, you can see by Sunday, at Monday morning at 5 a.m., you can see that, or 8 a.m., you can see that there's a significant system off the coast. Now, I'm going to show you the cloudiness later, but you can see here you've got what looks to be a double-barreled low-pressure system with an existing wave and some positive vorticity maxes to the south of it. You've got a strong occluded front with strong southerly and southeasterly and easterly winds feeding into it. And then you have a warm front associated here and the trailing cold front, which is tapped into the Pineapple Express, creating an atmospheric river event. Atmospheric river events, as we are all well aware, are very difficult to forecast because of their locality. Now, as we move forward into Monday in the evening, you can see that the storm is being actually pushed south by a very strong high-pressure system in the Gulf of Alaska, almost a 1049 surface millibar high over the Gulf of Alaska, creating this 989 to 990 double-barreled surface low to just sit and spin. As you can see, it has a lot of strong northerly winds going on the back side of this. Can you imagine if this was over New Mexico? We would be getting another Santa Ana condition. But luckily this thing is off our coast and it's going to bring us hopefully some copious amounts of rain. As we roll it forward into Tuesday, you can see the warm front just starts to touch off the coast and starts to affect Santa Barbara and southern San Luis Obispo County, also Monterey County. And that's Tuesday at about 11 a.m. local time. As we move forward in the afternoon next Tuesday, you can see the warm front actually is being pushed south a bit. So it's almost acting like a stationary front. The apex of this cyclone, or occluded cyclone, is off the coast. The apex is where the cold front and the warm front meet, where the strongest confluence of winds are. And here's your occluded front raping around and getting into the low pressure center, or centers, as it were. If we forward this to 5 p.m. Tuesday, you can see it's pretty much a stationary front over Santa Barbara, West Los Angeles, and Ventura counties and South San Luis Obispo County. You've got a slow-moving occluded front and cold front, and almost like a stationary warm front. I'm still calling it a warm front because that's what it is. It's just sliding along, just south. It's somewhere between Catalina Island and Long Beach Pier. You can see the rain over Los Angeles at this point in time, Tuesday evening, is only light. Like, these are 3-hour totals. It's 1/1100th of an inch. Same over Ventura counties. As you get near Point Conception, it gets moderate to about 1/3 of an inch every 3 hours. Nothing to be too worried about at that point. However, when we move into Tuesday evening, you can see that the moderate rain is still off the coast because the confluence at the apex here, you've got some east-southeasterly winds over the Channel Islands, kind of keeping the rain off Santa Barbara's coast, lucky for them, but is pushing it into Los Angeles County. As you can see, we have southerly winds, so we're getting probably a little bit heavier rainfall rates than Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara, very light rain, a 1/7 inch of an hour, and then Los Angeles County, a little more continuous with that. As you move into 11 o'clock on Tuesday night, you can see that the warm front is still in the same place. And the low is deep and to the west of Big Sur at about 350 miles. It's just sitting and spinning, and you've got this strong cold front here with a lot of confluent flow. You can see from the streamlines a very weak, small anticyclone to the west of southwestern Baja. And look at how this high pressure over the Gulf of Alaska is just pouring winds into this system. You can see here that now rain over western Santa Barbara County is increasing to about a 1/2 inch every 3 hours. And it is about the same in Los Angeles. Okay. We continue into Wednesday morning, early bird, 2 a.m. We skipped 2 a.m., didn't we? 2 a.m., kind of same scenario. The warm front's kind of bowed up and now is over Santa Monica. So the rain has gotten almost very light over Los Angeles. It's getting heavier to like 2/3 of an inch every 3 hours. It's now moderate rain over Santa Barbara and portions of Ventura counties. As we move into 5 a.m., the warm front is now over the San Fernando Valley and extending over the Tehachapi Range, and you've got this confluent flow off our coast, and almost no rain over the Los Angeles Basin due to the passage of the warm front, and light rain over the San Fernando Valley. So far, Los Angeles has only gotten like 1/3 of an inch. Now, when you move into the next portion, your 8 a.m. Wednesday morning, heavier rain starts coming into Santa Barbara. Now, this is heavy rain. You've got an inch over 3 hours. That's 1/3 of an inch. 1/3 of an inch per hour above is considered heavy rain. Very heavy rain is anything over 1/2 an inch an hour. So far, these rates will be probably, they're going to start to break the USGS thresholds for debris flows based on the Thomas Fire. At this point, I don't see the La Tuna Fire or the Creek Fire being a threat as of yet at this time of the day. It could be later in the evening. As you can see here, the cold front begins to move in across Los Angeles County, Santa Barbara County. It's pretty much sitting almost across Point Conception. The apex is just off of Point Conception, and there looks to be what looks to be a wave forming on the cold front. The warm front is up here over the Tehachapi, probably dissipating. You can see rainfall rates are now moderate over Santa Barbara and Ventura counties and light over Los Angeles counties. 2 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, now the rain starts to pick up a bit. It's now moderate over Los Angeles, 1/3 of an inch over downtown Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley. And same in Santa Barbara, except for the western portions where it's heavy at 2/3 of an inch an hour. In the evening, it looks like the cold front starts to move very slowly east. And now you have heavy rain approaching Los Angeles. 3/4 of an inch in 3 hours over roughly, or heavy at times rain over Malibu, over the San Fernando Valley, and over western portions of the Los Angeles Air Basin. As we move into 8 p.m. next Wednesday night, at least based on the global forecasting system model, the cold front pretty much looks to be stalling over downtown Los Angeles. This is particularly interesting because, as you can see, look at these streamline analysis. As a matter of fact, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so we can look at a closer view of what's going on over Los Angeles. Look at this. You almost have a mini Catalina eddy going on, a vortex, cyclonic flow over Santa Monica Bay, and you have very strong winds pulling in around this. And then you have a dry line in Orange County, a dry area where dry air is being entrained in. This, to me, is a recipe for severe weather. And you can see here there could be water spouts, as the other Jeff Brown alluded to at our discussion at Pierce College on Tuesday, March 13th. This definitely could bring water spouts and online F0, maybe even F1 tornadoes into Manhattan Beach, into Palos Verdes, into Santa Monica, into Huntington, Redondo Beach areas. We could see tornadic activity in those areas, maybe even Long Beach. But definitely you can see that is a situation where when you zoom in, you can see the rainfall rates are now close to almost an inch every 3 hours over the San Fernando Valley and West Los Angeles. And virtually East Los Angeles County and San Bernardino and Riverside haven't had any rain at all at this point. So this happened, if you recall, mid-February 1992, where Woodland Hills had 8 inches of rain over the Sepulveda Basin in a period of just a couple of hours. I'm a bit concerned that somebody between Santa Barbara and San Fernando and Los Angeles and Palos Verdes south and Long Beach is going to get some severe weather. And that is something we need to really, really keep an eye on over the next several days if this comes into fruition, because there's some pretty significant difluent and confluent flow going on here, which makes me very, very nervous. Let's focus now. Let's forward this into the 11 o'clock hour on Wednesday night. Now keep in mind, it has been raining moderate to heavy over Los Angeles, the basin now, and the San Fernando Valley for about 12 hours at a rate of about 1/3 of an inch per quarter to 1/3 of an inch per hour for 12 hours. Do the math. That's somewhere between 3 and 4.5, maybe even 5 inches of rain at the basin and valley floor levels. That does not include the higher elevations. And here we are at 11 p.m. Wednesday night, March 31st, and look, there's your wave in the front. You've basically now, that spin you saw off the coast of Santa Monica is now created what we call a col. A col is an area where there's virtually almost, the winds are non-existent or there's outflow. That tells me that if this comes into play, there could be severe storms right in this area here. That's right over downtown Los Angeles, just to the south or just to the north. This is also a really bad situation now for the Latuna and Creek Fire burn scars. You're looking at possibly, 4 to 6, 7 inches of rain if this sets up in a 24 to 36 hour period in this area here, which makes me, again, extremely nervous. Now, again, this is about 96 hours out, and other models are indicating this atmospheric river event to go north, but this in itself is making a beeline for downtown Los Angeles. Now the heavy rain is moving into Anaheim. It's just barely touching San Bernardino. And somebody else's famine is somebody else's feast. And that's pretty much looks like what's going on here. So let's forward this into time. As you can see, by 2 a.m. Thursday morning, the 22nd, the front starts to dissipate. Okay? You can see that the front begins to dissipate, and there's moderate to locally heavy rain over Orange County and Riverside and San Bernardino County, but not to the extent of what happened over Los Angeles County. As we go further into time, you can see the front starts to dissipate over Orange and San Diego counties, and you only have moderate to light rain and shower activity occurring over Los Angeles. As we forward it into the hours, 8 a.m. on Thursday, then moderate rain again starts happening in the San Fernando Valley again. Forward into time. Then there's another batch of moderate to locally heavy shower activity across Los Angeles, 11 a.m. the following day. Keep in mind, moderate to heavy rain has been falling across Los Angeles now for about 24 hours continuously. That is definitely an atmospheric river event, what I will classify as an ARkSTORM I, and I'll show you that in just a minute from my chart that I developed back in 2010. Okay, you can see here finally the front by 2 p.m. Tuesday pushes through according to this chart, and there you have it in a nutshell. Now let's look at the quality, let's look at the precipitation totals according to the Global Forecasting System model. If we take it to the 26th, okay, and you can see here, you've got a nomenclature on the right here, which shows the different levels of inches of rain during this period. You can see Lake Elsinore gets hit pretty good here, 3 1/3 inches. Downtown Long Beach, 2 8/10. You move up the coast, look at Santa Monica. 4 inches of rain in Santa Monica, ladies and gentlemen. 4 inches of rain. 4 1/2, 4 3/4 in Malibu. 3.89 at USC. Move into the San Fernando Valley and you're up around 4 inches. Woodland Hills, North Hollywood, Studio City. You're looking at 3 to 4 inches in this area for a 24 to 36 hour total. Moving into Oxnard, it drops into the 2 1/2 inch range, and then you go into Santa Barbara, and that's where things really get 6 1/3 inches of rain over Montecito and Santa Barbara over a 24 to 36 hour period. This is a serious issue for the Thomas Fire, and so they're definitely going to have to issue evacuation notices based on this forecast, if this forecast comes into play. Okay, now I'm just going to show the clouds real quick, and I'm going to zoom out, and I hope they show up. Let's see what happens. Oh, well, we have to take it from the beginning, don't we? Let's take it from the beginning, and this will kind of give you a nice idea about how an atmospheric river event works. But this is the cloud forecast by the GFS. You can see that occlusion off the coast, and you can see the streamlines. You can see how you've got several waves forming on the cold front here, and you've got also frontogenesis, which is the formation of a cold front and a second bit of a wave here, and frontogenesis with an unstable warm front. There's that warm front. There it is. Did you see that passing over Los Angeles County? Here it comes again. There's your warm front streaming over Southern California. Classic atmospheric river, unstable warm front. Look at that thing go. It is just going to slam us if we get this type of scenario. It's very unusual to have this kind of scenario. I'm still very incredulous whether this is going to happen or not, but I want to stop it here for a minute. I want to show you something. See this line here of confluent flow where all these streamlines of wind flow is going. You've got west-southwesterly winds going on. This is your frontal boundary. And then look where it's aimed. Look at this. It's just a beeline right over Santa Barbara. You get a little bit of easterly winds over the water. As you forward this, watch what this line does. It slowly moves east Wednesday evening. slowly. This is your express. This is your Pineapple Express here. This is drawing in the atmospheric river, the fire hose, as it were. Again, like I said, and here it is, Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. You can see it's right over downtown Los Angeles and Long Beach before it dissipates. So, and look at that fetch. Look at that fetch. Let's zoom out here and let's just take this back a bit and let's zoom out. I want you to look at how much moisture is coming. Look at that thing. That's a big storm. That is a chunk of moisture that is going to really do a number on us if in fact that sets up. Now the question is, what kind of ARkSTORM level are we looking at? Well, back in 2010 I developed the Atmospheric Rivers Storm Level Event Chart, or ARkSTORM level chart, and you can see Arc 5 is the most severe type of ARkSTORM. Arc 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see the different years here, 2004, 2005. There hasn't been a lot of Arc 5s. There wasn't any in the 20th century. We had none in the 21st century, or in the we had one. We had two in the 19th century. We had none Arc 4 or 5 in the 20th century. In the 21st century, we had an Arc 4 in 2004, 2005, and we've had quite a bit of Arc 3 storm level scenarios in the 21st century and 20th century. Well, this one is going to be what I believe an Arc 1, because it's only going to last 1 to 2 days. It might extend to an Arc 3, or Arc 2. I thought at first it might be an Arc 3, but we're looking like an Arc 2. So we're getting a little bit late in the year to have these extended atmospheric river events, so we're grateful to have this one on one hand, and then nervous on the other hand because of the debris flows that could create. So, like I said, this is 96 hours in the future. There's still a lot that could be changed, but be safe out there. And this is Jeff Brown saying thank you for watching, and take care.